it's going to be chaotic. Distractions are what is keeping us in this lower matrix right now. We're not here to judge each other. Hello, you gorgeous bunch, and welcome back to another video. My name is Lucy Davis, and welcome to my YouTube channel. First and foremost, I am excited to share that I'm going to be doing so many more videos. I've got a long list of people that I'm going to be chatting to and really getting this channel back up, running, and creating some absolute magical content for you. I am now settled here in Spain with my gorgeous partner, and so I have the time, I have the capacity to be able to do it because he's got everything set up here for me to crack on and just do it. So do keep an eye on this channel. She is back big time. Now, before we step into the new moon energy that is incoming on Saturday of this week, the 21st of January, which is always an interesting day for me because a couple of my best friends over the years had the birthday the 21st of January, and I will never forget it. Like, two people that were just so important in my life. So, you know, it's a big day for me. And then we've got this powerful new moon coming in, and please do know it is super powerful. But like I say, before that, we've had some cool stuff going on in the start of January, and it has been such a buoyant January. If you didn't watch the January energy update, please go and watch that back, because let me tell you straight, you will be shocked at how actually aligned it has been so far. Now, a couple of really exciting things that have taken place. First and foremost, my team basically bullied me. No, they didn't really, but they basically suggested to me that we should continue taking Soul School people for the next week or so. So if you didn't sign up for Soul School and you actually wanted to come, please do head over. The link is in the description field, and you can sign up today and join us in Manchester, UK, in just over 3 weeks, just under 3 weeks, my apologies. It was 3 weeks the weekend just gone. So I am super excited for that. David will vouch for this. Over the weekend, I've been like, oh my gosh, all this stuff is coming through for Soul School. I've been making notes about different areas that they want me to talk about. So it's starting to get spicy. Also, a really interesting point as well was that I set the intention that to make sure that the energies were correct. And I've been getting a lot of changes have taken place since the original setup, which was straight off the back of Soul School in September. So whatever you thought was going to be happening on the 4th and 5th of February, please know it's going to be very different, and it is all about bringing the light back online. I'm so excited. It's going to be my first live in-person gig of 2023, and my goodness, are we going to make sure it hits hard and it creates the ripple that we need to have in this world as we know it. The second thing that I would really like to share with you today is my book is finally out. And in fact, I'm just going to check it. I found it. So here is my book, ladies and gents. I am so excited. It's a monster. It's a Bible, just so you know. And you will be using it as a Bible because it has got so much information in there, and there is some things that are going to help you along the way. So last Tuesday, whatever date that was, about the 9th of January, this book went out on public sale. It was late in the evening, UK time. So if you're in Australia, it went out on Wednesday morning. The book is called From Head to Heart, and it is, can you see that? Can you see the shimmer of the gold? You've got to love that. And basically, it's the journey of me and my awakening journey, my enlightenment journey, whatever you want to call it. And it is, if you like the Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield, this is a real life Celestine prophecy. It explains how the intuitive travel started. It explains what had to happen to me to be able to crack me out of the old shell that I was in and into the version that you see today. Now, a lot of people say to me, I can't get to your seminars, I can't do your courses, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, now you've got the book. So there is an option for everybody. If you are somebody that likes to read, trust me, this is a big book. Now, again, I'm going to pop in the description link how you can sign up for this. If you are here in the UK, I don't know why I said here in the UK because I'm not in the UK. If you are in the UK, you will be able to literally just click a link, select your postage, and then it will be shipped out to you. If you are international, right now we've got a little bit of a manual process, unfortunately. We will look to resolve that imminently over the next week or so, but we're just finding our feet with what's going on in the UK. And also the Royal Mail have got issues with international shipping. We do have an alternative, which is what we're working with. So please just email support@lucydavis.com and you can get this beautiful book sent direct to your front door if you are interested in how maybe you will be able to go on your awakening journey as well. So the other things that I just like to quickly mention is conscious conversations. Conscious conversations is the cheapest way to work with me. If you want to come to calls with me and be able to ask questions and have some coaching and hear all of the higher consciousness stuff that I do and bring in, you know, activating your spiritual journey and all that kind of beautiful stuff. I don't talk about truther stuff. I don't talk about that. I mean, sometimes I bring it in, but very, very rarely. But it's very much about channeled messages, the energies, you know, just allowing your body to become much higher vibration. Like recently I was speaking about iridology, like it was just a tangent that I went off on because I'm actually a qualified iridologist, so it's just random what happens on these calls. But if you want to join and you want to have the opportunity to be able to ask me questions and get some feedback and things like that on a week-to-week basis, do sign up for that. It's £11.11 per month. That is it. And then you get access to all of the calls. And if you can't make the calls because you're busy or you've got kids or, you know, it just doesn't work for you, every single call is stored in the portal. And you've also got which you can access as and when you want to. And you've also got a group whereby if you're not going to be able to make the call, you can ask questions and things like that. So go check out the description field to be able to access all of that. Anyway, enough about that, Lucy. Just because you've not been on here for a while, you know, just sharing all of this stuff. So the last time I was supposed to do one of these videos was early in January, and I was moving and all of that stuff from the UK to Spain. So unfortunately, I missed the full moon video. So this is purely for the new moon because we're actually stepping out of that energy now and we're really stepping into the new moon energy. And when I go through it with you guys, you are probably going to say, I've noticed this. I've noticed this. I've noticed this. So please do buckle up because this Aquarius new moon is absolutely huge. Okay, so I'm going to start today with the lower stuff first, if you like. There is going to be a number of areas of buoyancy is the word that I'm going to use as we step into this new moon. Like I say, I'm recording this on Monday, the 16th of January. It's going to go out tomorrow on the 17th because David and I put a video out today. And then, you know, there's going to be the new moon on the Saturday. So we are already in this new moon energy, and you may well have noticed this. So the first thing that came through, and I was channeling this when I was in the car earlier today, and David was like, "Are you all right?" Chaos. The first word that they gave me was chaos. It's going to be chaotic. People, you know, the roads are going to be chaotic. You know, just maybe erratic driving. People are going to be chaotic. They're going to be demanding, they're going to be asking for your attention, but without saying, hey, can I have some attention, please? They're going to be creating chaos. They're going to be doing whatever they possibly can to shake things up. Okay, it's a very, very, very interesting energy that is taking place right now, and it is chaotic. Now, remember, it's always a choice. You can choose to buy into the chaos, or you can choose to say, I'm just going to sit back. Now, I'm a bit guilty of stepping into the chaos because people tend to come to me and they ask for my opinions when I should say, no, I'm not prepared to give them. But I actually do give my opinions, you know, depending on who it is. Obviously, I wouldn't, you know, it just depends who it is. So just remember, you are stepping into that chaotic behavior. You are giving energy to that. So please have that level of consciousness with all of these things that I'm talking about. There is going to be a mass amount of confusion. a mass amount of confusion. Very recently, I have been talking on Instagram Live. And if you want to follow my Instagram channel, whereby I do live videos most days, please go to the description field and you will find all of my social media channels there. Now, very recently, like I say, on my Instagram channel, I have been speaking about the confusion around mental health issues and that kind of stuff. I see that we are stepping into a period of time where people are going to almost start to look crazy. Okay, there is going to be a real surge in psychosis and people not really knowing what is going on. Now, the reason for this is because the planet is moving at such a rate and we are shifting through such a huge amount of energy in one time that people are becoming confused. It's almost like they've got concussion, which is interesting because just a week or so, maybe, I don't know, 10 days ago, I actually had a suitcase land on my head and they actually thought that I had concussion. So it's a very interesting, it was almost like, right, we need to give her a bump on the head. So she starts to realize what is going to be taking place right now. And a number of you will remember that because you were on my Instagram, you were expecting me to do a video. And then I said, I just don't feel well enough. I was feeling extremely nauseous and things like that. So confusion is going to be a really, really rife thing as we step through the rest of the month of January. This second half of January is going to be so fast. And of course, what comes with speed is chaos and confusion. People are going to be demanding. They're going to be like asking you to do things, and scattered behavior. That's the word that's coming through to me right now, is scattered behavior is going to really be surfacing. People's delusion is going to be coming to the surface, and they are going to be standing in their ground that they are not delusional. Now, I use the word delusion with people because I obviously do what I do for a living, but also I'm very comfortable for people to have massive reactions at me for me using that word. I'm okay with it. I don't take it personally. I have extremely thick skin where this is concerned, and I see through the delusion. Remember, when people are sharing, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, or they're projecting things, they're showing where they are at with themselves. It's not about you. So it's your job to not have a reaction to it. It's your job to not take it personally. It's just like, wow, thanks for showing me where you're at. So please do recognize that these three things that I've started talking about, chaos, confusion, and delusion, they're all going to be interlinked and intertwined, and they are going to be creating the next few things that I'm actually going to be talking about. Delusion can show up in many ways. It can show up in the perspective that somebody's got of themselves. It can create an altered or, disillusioned perspective on somebody else. It can be with work. It can be with health. It can be with money. It can be with any thing. So just be very careful that you are observing where people are at with themselves constantly. Okay, I actually wrote a really beautiful email recently for the Soul School attendees around delusion, because actually it's a very important part of the journey is actually recognizing that you are deluded. And, I'm deluded at times. I've done a lot of work on myself in the last 9 years, 10 years, actually, it'll be this June is when my journey started, to get myself back into alignment. But it's, there are still periods of time where I go, wow, I thought I had that together and I don't. And don't judge yourself for that. Actually own it and honor it. Like, this is all part of the healing journey. And actually, it's really beautiful to be able to recognize that you are deluded, because what comes after delusion? The gold of recognizing that, wow, yes, I've made another step forwards. We're not here to judge each other. We're not here to say I'm better than you, or just because you're deluded, it doesn't mean that I'm not. Like, it's not about that. This is about a personal journey. This is about looking at self. This is not about looking at anybody else around you. Like, you might recognize it in other people, because of course it's easier to see in other people than in ourselves. Distractions will be aplenty. Distractions. You will be about to do something very, very profound. You will be about to connect to something or get on your path, and all of a sudden a little distraction will come. I was going to call it a bomb, but a little distraction will come out of nowhere, and it will have your attention, and the darkness will be like, yes, great, they've got distracted for a minute, and no doubt it will come back round full circle again. But Maybe it'll come back round full circle again when distractions are rife again. You need to take ownership for you being like bright, shiny object person. You need to be. And you also need to be feeding into the vibration behind different things. Now, we are in a period of time where I'll put my teeth back in, whereby we are being distracted by the government. We're being distracted by food. We are being distracted by the rain. We are being distracted by the chemtrails. We are being distracted by our partners. We're being distracted by the TV, by our iPads, by our phones, by all of this sensory overload that we've got. You know, the fact that we need to have our nails painted and our teeth right and our hair right and this and that. We've got to look a certain way, and, you know, we need to be in the gym, and, you know, this is all distractions taking place. You know, our family are a distraction. Oh, we need to have you here, or you need to do this for us. Like, everything is a distraction, and you need to own and not be deluded about how easily influenced you are. Distractions are what is keeping us in this lower matrix right now. And learn from it. You've got to learn from it. It's a very, very, very important piece of the puzzle. You have to learn. Now, anger and violence is something that's come up big time. I feel that through the course of probably until March, maybe even into April, there is going to be a lot of push for justice. And that is going to result in anger and violence. This is going to result in people becoming more vocal about doing protests and more angry about their perspectives, and I want to be heard, let me be heard. It's kind of like this raw energy that's coming through, which is why I wanted to get it done first, because there is some beautiful things coming through. I don't want you to all run away and go and hide in a bomb shelter for the next couple of weeks until this energy has dissipated somewhat. You know, these things are real right now. Now, I have noticed, I mean, being here in Spain, the vibration is very different anyway. People speak very loudly. They're very, very vocal. They use their hands. You know, it's almost like they're shouting at each other. So, you know, depending on where you are, just bear in mind what is the norm. However, I've seen people getting frustrated in cars, people beeping a lot. You know, when I was back home in the UK, people were getting much more angry, shouting at each other, you know, having words with each other in the supermarket. Like, just remember, it's your choice as to whether you buy into this vibration or you do not. If justice is coming, if you are somebody that really wants to prove that justice is a real thing, then just be aware that these two behaviors, these two emotions could be extremely rife through the rest of January and stepping into the early days of February. Okay, it's a very, very, very important time that we are living through right now. Anger and violence. Now, if you find yourself in an angry or violent situation, my wish for each and every one of you is that you just step out of it. Do not engage. Do not encourage. David and I were actually having a beautiful conversation in the car on Friday, I think it was, because somebody overtook him. And he doesn't drive slow, by the way. And he said, you know, back in the day, Lucy, I would have got up his arse and or I would have, you know, put my foot down and made it difficult. He said, but you know what? I just don't want to buy into that these days. And that's exactly the attitude that we need to be taking. Sit back, allow it to unfold in front of you. You can walk away at any point. So please, my wish for you is that you actually choose to do that. Walk away. Do not hand away your power. Justice will prevail when it is necessary. Now, like I say, you might be somebody that is like, I'm going to help that happen. That's absolutely fine. But if you're not that person, just allow it to take place as and when it needs to, and you crack on and do whatever feels right for you and your loved ones. Now, obviously, where justice is under threat, we have struggles around power and control. Recognize where people want to be in control right now. Recognize where people are having a power struggle. It is a real thing. Okay, now this could be in relationships, it could be in friendships. It will definitely surface within business relationships and business communications. So please acknowledge that this is a real thing. Now, another thing which I'm suggesting that this may be coming through business actually, but it could be in relationships as well, is mistrust. If you do not trust people, you are going to be having to go through that healing journey right now. If somebody lets you down, if somebody hurts you, if somebody makes you lose your trust in them, like, that's their stuff. It's down to you how you deal with it. You can keep letting these people back in to take more of your trust and continue that healing journey of mistrust, or you can say, right, you know what? Like, I trusted you, you let me down. I'm now going to have boundaries with you, and that's okay. It's okay to have boundaries with people. All right, boundaries are extremely important right now. If you feel that you need to put a boundary in place with somebody, do it. If you feel that you need to have certain communications, then please do it. Conversations are what is going to help us get through this. People are being removed from our lives that do not serve us. Everything is being removed from our lives. So let's say, for example, you really love a particular drink, but you know it's bad for you. And then all of a sudden they stop making it. And you might be like, wow, this is not good. Trust that the universe has removed that for your sanity, to make sure that you are safe. Everything that is not serving you will be removed. Now, this is the painful bit of the enlightenment journey. This is the painful bit of the awakening. Losing things, maybe not having as many friends as you used to have, maybe not being able, like a great example is me moving here to Spain. Like, I don't know anyone, actually that's a lie. I know a few people, but not people that I can just call up and be like, hey babe, do you fancy going for a coffee? Because they live an hour and a half away or 5 hours away or whatever. I've got friends here in Spain, but they're miles away. So this is, again, people have been removed from my life. And of course, it was a choice. I chose to move over here to be with David, but that's a choice. So what I'm going through at the moment is, okay, I need to recognize that some of the situations of me having people around so I can call up for coffee or go for lunch or whatever, perhaps it wasn't serving me with my mission. So of course that will return. And of course I will meet people. But as you guys know, the kind of people that I go to the gym with are not going to be the people that can kind of have the same conversations that I'm looking to have. Like, that's one area of my life, great. But to have conversations like this and share with people the activations and stuff that I do, like, it's a special kind of person. So I know those people will show up in exactly the right time that they are intended to show up. But just remember, like, this is just part of the growth right now. This is just part of our journey. And sometimes it might feel like, oh, I just want to see the girls or whatever. And I've had moments like that where I just want to go out with the girls and I just want to see their faces and I just want to, you know what it's like, ladies and gents. Sometimes that's you just want that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, right, what's this teaching me? What do I need to go inwards on? What should I be doing here? Like, what can I be utilizing that time to do instead? Like, how can I get out there and meet people? How am I going to find my tribe? They're the conversations that I'm having right now. So do remember that. And maybe you're finding your tribe at Stand in the Park or going to sound baths or sound healing or whatever, so just start recognizing all of this. Now, I feel that we are now stepping into the lighter side of the new moon energy, and that you've probably got to agree. And I'm really sorry that I keep scratching my nose, everybody, but you know what this means. When my guides are coming through to me, they really hit my nose. So God knows what's going to start coming out of my mouth in a minute. My apologies. So on the brighter side of things, the more positive side of this new moon energy is clarity around communication. Talk as if you are speaking to a child would be my advice for the rest of this month. Be very clear, ask really good questions, allow people to communicate with you, stop and listen to what they are saying. Clear communication is going to provide a lot of wisdom for us. We're out of Mercury retrograde now. We are, we're stepping into, like I say, this powerful new moon energy, and it's going to get even more buoyant by the end of the month and stepping into February. So be very clear with what you are trying to achieve, with what you are looking for and how you want to go about it, and allow people to communicate also. If you have a reaction, recognize that you are having a reaction and take some time to process. Choices and decisions, they are going to be very important right now. Take your time so that you make the choice or the decision that your soul actually wants rather than your ego. So many of us work off of our ego. And when we can surrender the ego and just say, right, I want to make sure that I'm choosing this for my soul or for what is best for the greater good, rather than this instant need that I've got to be fixed. Like, I need some attention right now. Like, who can I pick up my phone and call? This will change for you. Now, David and I are going to be doing a video tonight, but obviously when you watch this video, it will already be done. So I'll tag this to the end of the video here so that you can give that a watch. We're going to be talking around, it's called ego death, but it's not about the death of the ego. It's around the monstrous issues that can be created off of the ego right now because of these buoyant energies. So something else that's really beautiful that's coming through with this new moon energy is be gentle. Be gentle to yourself. Be gentle to just being you. Allow your thoughts to be clean. Allow your intentions to be pure. Clarity, higher levels of consciousness, and spiritual growth will come from this gentleness that is coming through. And my body is just like, oh, it's like vibrating as I'm using that word. So one side of the fence is going to be chaotic and crazy and feisty and all of those things. And then the other side, the side that you can choose, is to be gentle and peaceful and harmonious. Now, spiritual growth during this new moon is going to very much show up as wisdom and inner knowing. You're going to know things. You know, this is your intuition kicking in. You're going to know things that you've got no idea how you know, but you just know it. Allow that feeling to vibrate within you. Allow that feeling of knowing without thinking, how on earth do I know that? Well, I need to prove to myself that I know that. Just allow the feeling. You don't need to know. Like, if you know, you know. Trust yourself. Again, this goes back to what it was saying earlier about mistrust. Trust you. We are in a high period of clearing right now from a karma perspective. Now, this can obviously be good, bad, and ugly. I'm looking at this as a beautiful, beautiful period of time. The karma that we have been carrying for many years is now at a point whereby we can just let it go with ease and grace. Acknowledge when things come up, when your triggers come up, when your reactions come up, acknowledge it. Feel into it, recognize it. Allow it to flow through you and flow out of you, and choose to forgive yourself, your inner child, whatever, so that it can actually, or your past self, obviously, so it can actually clear from you. There will be new starts around new moon. Okay, you might find yourself wanting to move home. You might find yourself wanting to start a new project. But new starts and new beginnings are very, very powerful during this period of time. Now, my biggest advice for you through this new moon is to stay in a space of gratitude. Even when the shit is hitting the fan and everything feels like it's on fire around you, step into a space of gratitude. It's going to assist with the ease and grace of every situation. It may feel like we are emerging from what seems like hell, or what has seemed like hell, more to the point. Now is the time to be more patient with yourself and others as we step out of this. It's going to be like, you know how when you've been in somewhere really, really, really dark, and then you come outside and you're like, I can't see, and it just takes a bit of time to adapt. Imagine being in a dark cave for a few months and then you come out to glorious sunshine. That's how I want you to treat yourself. It's going to take a little bit of time, gently opening your eyes, allowing them to adjust, just feeling, allowing that sun to hit your skin, just allowing yourself to be right now. We are going to be taking time for ourselves. We must take time for ourselves. And we must remember to breathe often through this period of time. It's time to focus on our emotional well-being, our emotional stability. For example, I actually went back to Muay Thai last week. I'm going again tomorrow, and I bloody well can't wait, ladies and gents. For me, this is my emotional well-being. This is where I am able to go and vent and allow my emotions to be, really processed beautifully. What is it that keeps you in a space of clear head? Like, how do you get connected? Do you retreat to nature? Another really great source. I retreat to nature too. I had to retreat to nature today, interestingly. Healing is going to be a focus of our onward journey. However, do not be surprised if it feels extremely different to the way that it has been before. You're going to be wanting to feel things rather than, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to buy this and I need to buy that. The distractions again of all these different modalities. Something that I'm really noticing with people at the moment is they're just like, oh yeah, I need all of this stuff. When in reality, all they need to do is be calm, be peaceful, and actually recognize what they're feeling. Most people on the planet, and I'm going to make that bold sweeping statement, like with my paintbrush here, it's a massive sweeping statement. I'm going to say 95% of the population are not prepared to feel. They are not prepared to sit with how their feelings are and deal with them. They want to sweep it away. They want to distract from it. They want to run. They want to find solutions rather than just sit there and be like, right, how does this truly feel for me? Powerful, right? The new moon energy is absolutely monstrous in a beautiful way. It can be in a beautiful way, but it can also be, you heard the heavy stuff at the beginning. Now remember, we must stay grounded through the second half of this month and stepping into February. Around my birthday, my birthday's the 2nd of February. You guys know, like, my birthday is always a pretty powerful time. Remember to stay grounded. The reason being the energies are ramping up more. Oh, yes. If you feel you're going crazy already, trust me, I would hold on. I would kick your shoes off. I would go and ground. I would go and throw myself in the ocean, and I would eat lots and lots of grounding foods, because we are on a mission, a one-way mission to higher levels of consciousness. And we should be very, very excited about that. So, ladies and gents, let me know in the comments how the energy side of things feels with you. And what I'm going to do now is, as always, I'm going to give you an exercise that can help you navigate the new moon energies and the feelings, and just, neutralize that a little bit better. So press pause now, run off, grab yourself a pen and paper, and come back and join me in just 2 seconds, where I will be giving you the brief exercise to do for this new moon on the 21st of January. Okay, my little love beams, welcome back. Now, as always, the first part of any exercise that I give you is around clearing your auric field, so cleansing the energy on your auric field. So what I would like you to do this time is, because we're talking about emotions a little bit and we're talking about spiritual growth, as you do this, just use your Palo Santo or your sage or whatever it is that works for you, and say something along the lines of, universe, divine, whatever, God, please remove anything that is sitting in my field that no longer serves me and brings me the emotional balance that I desire, that I deserve to move forwards with. The second one is cleanse your space. Universe, divine, God, please remove any stagnant energies that are currently in my home or my place of residence, or the place, whatever it is that you're using. Please take them out into the universe and transmute, replacing with love, light, and abundance for all. Now, I would like you to set up a really beautiful space, okay? If you've got a balcony, like we've got a terrace here, so we can go out and use that space. And in that space, what I'm going to recommend is that you grab a few things. I would grab something from nature. It could be a plant, it could be a flower, it could be leaves, it could be twigs, it could be absolutely anything. But bring nature into your space so that you have a beautiful space of grounding. Bring candles. You will need a pad of paper and a pen. You might want incense or any of that stuff, like whatever resonates with you. If you don't like incense because the burning and the smells and the rest of it, that's absolutely fine. If you want to diffuse essential oils, please do that. Like whatever works for you, please bring it into this space. This is your space. I would also be maybe bringing your favorite crystal into this little party, or your tarot cards if you use that kind of stuff, or whatever it is that you use, whatever you feel drawn to, bring it into the space for this. And just get it set up. How do you want your space to look? Do you want it to be a bit of an altar that you're going to leave out over the course of the next couple of weeks? Or are you just going to go and sit in there and set it up and perhaps, like, you know, sit on the floor or whatever so that you can do this exercise? You get it set up. And I would also encourage you to have some solfeggio frequencies. Now, we actually used some solfeggio frequencies this weekend, and it made such a difference for the environment that we were in. It was very, very, very interesting. David and I were both like, I think we need to change the energy in here a little bit. So how can we do that? And we actually played solfeggio frequencies and nobody else noticed, but it changed the vibration immediately. So please do go over there. I'm not going to say which one to use or what feels right for you. Let your intuition guide you. Solfeggio frequencies are very, very, very powerful. And in fact, if I remember, I will pop a link to their YouTube or to some on YouTube for you to be able to find with ease and grace. So once you've got yourself set up, what I would look for you to do is first and foremost, grab a piece of paper and write down the emotions that you feel are not serving you. What emotions have been coming up for you? Have you been angry? Have you been feeling violent? Have you been being stubborn? Like, what emotions have been coming up for you that you do not feel are serving you? The second part of this exercise is, I would like you to focus on who you would like to be. So who you are and who you want to be. At the essence of all of us, we are love. That's our essence. That's all we are. But sometimes that isn't how we show up in the world. So grab a piece of paper and write it down. And I've got some questions for you. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And what do you choose to feel on a day-to-day basis? And you might want to go a little bit further with that last one and say, what do you want to feel when you're cuddled up with your partner? What do you want to feel when your partner says something to you that you don't like? What do you want to feel when your mum, who really annoys you, calls you, or whatever? Those situations, if you want to go a little bit further, you can take this as far as you want to go. Once you have done those exercises, I would really suggest sitting down and reading through it and allowing yourself to feel it. Okay, I got angry last week. Why did I get angry last week? And journal. A lot of people don't like journaling. David will be vomiting in his own mouth when he hears this bit. But like, I would be grabbing a journal and I would start writing. Or maybe you want to draw something, you know, maybe you are somebody who's linked to art and you'd rather draw. That's absolutely fine. Whatever it is that works for you. I'm not going to ask you to meditate. I'm not going to give you that to do this time round. What I'm going to encourage you to do is sit with your journal, mine's in front of me, and really go deep on how you are feeling. This, remember, is about your emotional well-being. This is about your emotional stability. That's the word that I used earlier, emotional stability. Once you are done, it's up to you. You might want to burn it, you know, especially the old stuff, but you might just want to keep it. You might just want to sit with it for a little while, and then at some point in the future, throw it away. Ladies and gents, I hope you have found this useful. I will check back in the comments in a couple of days. It's my absolute pleasure as always. I'm going to link now to the video that David and I are going to do on Monday the 16th of January on ego death. I hope you enjoy that, and I will see you next time. Lots of love.